You're listening to Kate Palmer from sparkletart.com. Today I'm creating some DIY watercolour washi using Magicals from Lindy Stamp Gang. So I'm going to be making some of my own washi tape today, and I have a few pieces of pre-cut paper. Now, normal paper is 80 GSM, this is 120, so it's a little bit thicker than normal. I have an Express-It double-sided tape sheet, which I have cut into little 1.5 centimetre strips to make some washi. I've got some beautiful Magicals from Lindy's Stamp Gang in Teapot Purple, Hottie Patootie Hot Pink, and Witch's Potion Purple. I have some water and just an acrylic block. Now this is used for stamping, but today I'm using it for this little process here. So to start with, all I'm doing is getting 5 drops of liquid, and I'll just add a little bit of the Magicals. So this one is Hottie Patootie Hot Pink. 2 little bits of that. Next I'll get Witch's Potion Purple. And lucky last is my Teapot Purple. A good mix. Now I'm just flicking it off the top of the brush here, and that's serving a twofold purpose. It's cleaning off the brush so I don't contaminate the colours, and it's adding a little bit of colour to my piece of acrylic block. Now that last colour is Hottie Patootie Hot Pink. Now I'm squeezing my aqua wash brush at the moment as I go, just to get some of the water to migrate out of the brush. Now for a little bit stronger colour, I'm just going to dip this in again and shake it directly onto the surface. Rinse the brush between colours and repeat. Rinse the brush again. Alright, now I've got 2 options. I can lay the paper over the top, or I can tip it upside down and stamp it into this. Now I think what I'm going to do is just lay the paper over the top here. Let it sit there for a second and absorb, and I might do 2 bits of paper at once. Actually, let's try stamping the next one. See what the difference is. Okay, lift that bit of paper up. Ooh, very pretty. Now, admittedly, that's turned out like a beautiful watercolour. Doesn't have very many of those spots, so let's see what the difference is. Flipping this over and stamping. Okay, now I can actually see what's happening, and I can lift it up a little bit earlier, so it doesn't have quite as much colour on there if I didn't want it to. Now I have enough colour here to flip this over and do a bit more. Let's try pressing it onto the craft mat and seeing what the difference is. Oh, about the same result. So let's just grab a little bit more colour here. Okay, so I've got this beautiful watercolour-y look, which I'm really quite liking. I'm going to use all the rest of this as well. There we go. See how that's going. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Now, there is a bit of a line here because this was my first colour, so it's come out the strongest. But I think we can fix that up. Now what I've got is these yummy watercolour washies. But to get a bit stronger colour, I am now going to flick some of these spots directly onto the bit of paper. So I'll have this gorgeous watercolory bits and then stronger spots of colour. And the stronger spots of colour will have more shimmer. Just to disguise that line there. And here, I might just add a bit more of that darker colour, which is Potion Purple. Now I quite like some of these bits that have got the little bit of white peeking in there, so I'm not going to completely cover those. I'm just going to add a bit of colour in areas where it's a bit lacking. So if there's an area that's kind of missing pink, I'm going to add a bit of pink in there. Alright, now I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. I just need to dry it. Once your watercolour washi strips are completely dry, take one of the adhesive strips that are pre-cut and stick it on the back. Smooth it down so it makes really good contact, and you're almost done. Trim off any excess paper with some small sharp scissors, or if you have a precision cutting blade or guillotine, you could use that as well. Set one piece of your washi tape aside. You'll leave this one blank. And then I'm going to add some glitter paste to the second piece, just to create a little bit of difference with coordinating colours. I'm using a metal stencil for this, but you can use any stencil. I've grabbed some glitter paste from Bo Bunny. You need to give it a good stir first before doing anything else. Once it's stirred up and you can't see any more of the white film on the top, just use a palette knife to smooth the glitter paste through the stencil onto the washi. Use as little as possible, otherwise it can sneak underneath and make a big mess. Move the stencil and keep applying glitter paste until your piece of washi is completely covered. You'll then need to put this somewhere safe, away from cats, until it's completely dry. You may also need to trim off any little bits of raggedy glitter paste on the edges before you use this. The end result are two pieces of coordinating washi, one with a little more bling than the other, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. The glitter paste doesn't overpower the Lindy's at all, it just adds a little bit of extra power to the washi tape. I've chosen to use my custom DIY watercolour washi to create a really funky card. I've paired it with some of the Poppin' Pink from Lindy's Stamp Gang in the embossing powder and some traditional coloured washi in glitter gold, pink and black and white. As you can see, it's made a really funky looking card that is just vibrant and completely able to be personalised for the person that you're sending it to. And that watercolour washi, so simple, so pretty. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll be back with more soon.